Before we get into this evening's live, I would like to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring so far. Yes, we've had the flip of the clock, so you're not easily identifiable to see what happened in the last 24 hours. But we've had a pretty substantial reversal in the markets. Bitcoin, we can see, is under 98,000. XRP closed just about $2.24, still over that $2.22 critical support structure. And the reason why I think that's such an important area is that's where the descending wedge, the first target out of 2021, from that time frame, was the first target. But overall, the target's $5.49, hasn't changed. Now, if we get invalidated, that's one thing. The dragon pattern had the initial surge up to $2.72, got rejected there, and we haven't invalidated that structure either. It's just now it's kind of flailing down. We have an inverse head and shoulders set up here for XRP. But the shame of today is, I'll be honest, the shame with today, yes, we've consolidated, but the amount of liquidation that's been felt across the market was something like $1.4 billion has exited the market today via liquidations. Not because somebody sold out 30% down, not because somebody had a $3,000 trade and they might be down $300 and they got the cash out $2,700. You know, you live to fight another day. But the ones who got fully liquidated here out of leverage, it's like I said the past week or two, if you didn't know the manipulation that's in crypto, you were going to find out. And that was about 2 weeks ago. I put that video out. And that's not because you can't make money. That's not because it's not going to go up. But the extreme volatility from up to down to up to down to down to up to up to down, whether you're shorting, longing, the majority of people, unless they've got an overall plan in the market of, hey, this is my down period, or hey, this is my up period and I'm not swaying, it's very difficult to navigate this out of the leverage standpoint. From a spot standpoint, you don't sweat it. You understand your buy-in zones, and maybe right now you're not buying anything because of the extreme run that's gone up, and you're just looking for extreme dumps, and then you just capitalize for the next day rally. Like today, I would be stunned if we don't have some kind of rally today. Whether it's a 10% reversal across the market, 7% reversal, that wouldn't even get us back up to where the initial drop point was. I would still expect some upward volatility. Last 2 days, I've been a little bearish because we came below $2.50. But right now, I mean, this would seem like the opportunity here for the market. It's been correcting quite a bit here lately, especially the last couple days. And now I would anticipate the market got a little bit of a reversal possibly here, but I'm looking at the 4-hourly. So I would anticipate the market, if it loses $2.22, that's where you start to get tricky here. If it loses this structure right now, it's more than likely going to invalidate this inverse head and shoulders. It's just, that's the way it goes. I can't help that. Right now, it's perfectly set up if it were to pull back up. Like, I mean, absolutely perfect. It's just the uptrend, we're still below. So we're going to have to find ourselves back in it. We've talked about the possibility of this pattern before. I tried to stretch it out so you could see if it came down, but this is the gist of it. Here, let me get rid of this. This is the gist of this little wedge. And now we can actually see how it came across. Support. I mean, you could maybe not. I mean, it's something like this. It really is. And if that's meant to hold, it will. If not, we can see the area that can come. And like I always show the bullish and bearish route for one reason. I don't want you to be surprised in any direction, but then if it takes one direction or the other, it's easier for us to understand. Yesterday, I drew this out, and it came down exactly where I drew it out yesterday. If this was going to create an inverse head and shoulders, and if this is going to hold, it's got to maintain this structure. If it breaks this structure, it's a problem. But during this live, we're going to talk about more than just the charts. We're going to talk about the omniance here of how much liquidation there exactly was. And we're going to go over the Bitcoin liquidation heat map so that we can see where the best opportunity for liquidations next are and where the biggest opportunity for the market to liquidate either shorts or longs. D-Clan Owens, thank you so much for joining Tom's Army. I cannot believe you joined today. That is inspiration beyond inspiration for me, my friend. Holy smokes, you just made me the happiest person in the world today. That's unbelievable that you would join on such a bearish day. Like, thank you so much. Like, seriously. And I know it's your first month because that's the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. And that is my face superimposed on there. So I greatly, greatly appreciate that. So we'll continue this discussion here. Make sure to hit that like button. About 25% of you have already hit that like button. So that's excellent to see within the first couple minutes. And I will do an intro so I can timestamp this, but we've got a lot to talk about. I wasn't going to be here this evening to do the live, but my mom wasn't feeling well, so she couldn't come over to watch my son, so that I could go to our 17-year-old, my stepdaughter's orchestra today. Yesterday we had choir for the 5th grader. So I'm here. Julie's mom was going to stay here, but that's their Mimi, so I told her to go, and I'd watch my son, and now he decided he was going to lay down and basically fall asleep right now, so I figured this is a perfect time to do the live. It'll be a perfect time for us to see in real time together if this is going to hold this structure or if it's going to be something worse here. So, good evening. 7:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Thursday, December 19th, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So I've had a lot of people ask me, what are you doing about profits? I mean, I've taken profits in a lot of different cryptocurrencies, but as far as what I hold, the ones I talk about every day, my whole spot positioning, I'm not looking at anything different as of right now. But there are several of these, if and when it comes down, if it does do the next layer, where I'm still up several 100%. So there would be some that might find their way into the old liquidation pile and add up into my portfolio, you know, just the side bag. But as of right now, nothing's changed for me. Nothing's changed. Algo's back below 30 cents. But it's like everything is still in this, even though we took this headfirst dive, I don't really think anything went anywhere that we shouldn't have expected. We talked about Ethereum. When it got rejected at 4,000, where did we talk about? I drew the yellow. Let me get rid of. Well, I mean, I guess we can keep this expandable little wedge. But I drew this blue line right here for the drop point. I put that there at 33.11, and that was where we thought it could come down to. Even if we were bullish still, but with what it was showing. But if it breaks down through here, obviously we can see the topping reversal. It's just it has to reverse at some point to show us the bearishness if it's there. So this was a better than not opportunity at 33.39. And now it might come up to 3,600. The first area of rejection could be at 34.38, which is where we're at right now. So this is absolutely chaotic right now. It's chaotic with everything that's happening in the world. With the rate cuts yesterday of 25 basis points, what spooked the market is when Jerome Powell said, hey, we're not going to be as aggressive given rate cuts next year because the markets might be a little worse than we thought, than we initially thought. No shit, Sherlock. But it becomes a very dicey. I'm telling you guys right now, this is not the normal cycle. So everything we thought was normal, you have to throw out the window. Like I even have to throw it out the window because this isn't a normal cycle. And no matter how I look at this, it's not acting as a normal cycle. Even 21 didn't act as a normal cycle. I can get rid of this because that triple bottom's already played out now. In a very big way. But I wanted to set this up like this. Because you can actually see, if you set it up like this, maybe it comes down a little bit farther, but we can see that little bit of a consolidation that's been taking place here. And it's not crazy that it stayed within this bound. It couldn't get above it. It's just, here's the big problem right now. If it breaks below this, it would be extremely bearish back down to like 26, 2,700. If it holds this consolidation, we are still super bullish. It's just we've fallen below the 4-hourly now. But it would be a catastrophic collapse here because this would not be a cup and handle forming. This would be like a big M topping reversal. And then, you know, it's back to the pits of hell, so to say. And that's a giant M. But don't kid yourself. That can very easily turn back into a big W reversal. We're way oversold in the 4-hourly. We were massively oversold in the smaller time frames, and now they're correcting a little bit. But death crosses happen in the shorter time frame. So now what I do is when I don't know what to say, because it looks bearish. It looks bearish, but there is the ambiance that we didn't break completely down. So now maybe this is where we get that nice reversal since it came down to some of the targets if it was bearish. I know I see in the comments, oh, look at this, the dragon pattern. It doesn't matter about technical analysis. See, it's pointless. I mean, it's only pointless as if you think it's pointless. The dragon pattern allowed us to see the move up to 272 for the rejection. We knew if that got rejected, it was a big problem, huge problem. And then we knew if that got rejected and we lost $2.50, it was horrible. And yesterday when I did a 60-second short, I came on and said XRP is down at $2.49. And I said, but watch out. And I talked about the drop areas. Not that I want to, but the previous few days I didn't have to because I could see it was at least going to go to 272. But once that rejection happened and then we lost 242 and 238, it's almost like this is a foregone conclusion now. And yeah, we're still up 103% in the last month. Like, that's something you have to pay attention to. It's still way up from 48 cents. And sometimes I feel like for the newer viewers of mine, when I start talking the bearish way, people get mad because they're like, oh, this son of a bitch, we're up from 48 cents. What do you expect? Exactly what I expect, but we should still know about it. And we should still know about whether or not it stays bullish or bearish and an overall agenda in the market. Like, this was no small reversal here. This was no small reversal. Ethereum got rejected at 4,000 and we said, oh, shit. It went up 3 times over it, and the third time, 4,100, it couldn't hold it at 4,000. If you're looking for profit, I would not do it at this exact moment. It could kill you by listening to what I'm saying because I'm not a financial advisor. But I anticipate some kind of wild bounce back for a rejection. So if I was going to take half my bag, and yeah, it could come right through down to $2.10, and then all of a sudden people are going to be like, son of a bitch, I should have just sold now, which maybe you should because the death cross is almost imminent. But after these wild consolidations, you're always looking for that retest on the top side if you're looking to sell. So, like, I think it'd be a little odd to sell it right here, 50% of it, showing an inverse head and shoulders. But obviously, if it invalidates this, it would just be a head start here if you sold. But I got to wait for the proper signal. I've got to wait for the proper signal for myself. Like I said, in 2021, when it was at $1.98, I didn't sell. I sold at $1.66. That was a pretty big jump down. It's comparable. It's comparable to the jump down now from 291. So, Jack, I'm in at 34 cents, so trust me, I completely get it. I get it. 100% get it. But if I was going to sell half right now, I wouldn't want to do the injustice of not seeing after 2 solid days of complete tomfoolery. You know, I wouldn't want to do it yet. No, I'm not calling anything. What do you mean? I didn't say I sold. I said I can see setups where if we were to get rejected here, there's areas where if it rolled over and rolled out, but still, even if it goes to $1, you're gonna have to get some kind of back test so that we can understand that this is a real rejection. So even if it fell to $1.50, you're probably still going to get that opportunity at $2 or $2.10 to sell it again, or even $2.22. It's just, do we really think that it's just going to fold? I don't personally think that we're in a spot right now to just fold. Look how much we've come down. Look how much we've crashed, so to say. And now just to have that big of a steep drop and XRP still at $2.20. Like, this is the thing. Like, when I was buying at 40 cents or 35 cents, 34, the reason I was buying there is so that I could enjoy this time. Hey, you know what? It was up to almost $3, but now it's down here at 220. Just after my liquidation yesterday, I'm chasing. Oh, Jack, I understand that. I understand. Oh, there is always a massive pullback. Always a massive pullback. And, you know, some could say, hey, Tom, or Jack, we were at $2.92. We're down 23%. We've had about a 28% pullback. Maybe we had a 35% pullback. That's a major pullback to me. That's an extreme pullback from the top. So, I mean, that's not nothing to me. You know, that's not nothing. But, I mean, have we really skipped alt season? If you think about it, most of our alts are up 3, 4, 5, 600% still. I almost don't think we're missing alt season. I just don't think it's a traditional cycle. I think alt season might have front ran with Bitcoin if it played out like that. Like, that's the thing that I'm indecisive about. Like, if it were to just end now, you could say, oh, maybe it ran with Bitcoin. But in technicalities, in technicals, and the whole way to trigger an alt season, it hasn't started technically. So that's where it's like, am I really going to sell here, pay that capital gains when I don't need this money? Like, the money I have in XRP, I don't need it. It's there for a reason. The money I have in all of my other cryptos is technically there, and I have other funds. Like, am I really going to sell it back to cash? And we're not done yet. Like, that's the thing. And I would never sell it when it's showing an inverse head and shoulders and a back test on a breakout of a descending wedge. That's just me. They sure did. They sure did. When Bitcoin went up, they had to make some alts expensive. They sure did. But it's like still looking at some of this. Yeah, XRP's way up. But look at some of these. Like, you've got IOTA sitting at 29 cents less than Doge. Like, there's nobody in this chat that should be buying Doge instead of fucking IOTA right now if you're buying one or the other. Let's just make that very clear. There's nobody in this chat that should be buying Doge when Algo's sitting 2 cents from Doge. Like, let's just call it for what it is. You know, Doge has way too many tokens, and it's basically a pile of shit sitting with Elon Musk. And I own Doge at 5 cents. I sent it to Julie. You guys know the story. But there's no reason that you shouldn't be buying those. You know, when some of these prices are where they're at. Like, I would argue that I'm sitting here, I'm trying to convince myself not to buy more DGB at this exact moment. You know? Because I know the harder they fall, the faster they rise. And like, and look at DGB, it looks like it put in a complete head and shoulders pattern. So there's a very good chance here, if DGB's front running the rest of the market, that some of these are telling us, hey, are we really going to give it all back here? Are we really going to give it all back? And I love watching it like this because we'll be the first to know. We will be the first to know just because of the pure validity of tokens that we follow. Period. And like, if the utility run's not happening right now, oh, we're going to know it because our entire thing is built around utility. And you can see, look at this. If this is holding on, it's literally at its last legs right here on this descending one. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the way this pattern's tightened, I would not be shocked if the market completely reverses here because everything is set up in such a weird structural fashion. Like, technicals are one thing, but when you get into odd cycles, you can see corrections, you can see this, but you don't know how far. Looking pretty sketchy, you know? That's one man's opinion. That's one man opinion. You know? Actually more than one man's, but think about it. Look how far we've come down, and like the RSI is starting to, oh, DGB is looking sketchy. Oh yeah, I mean, they're all looking sketchy, right? When you look at them, they don't look good. But then when you start looking at the deeper patterns, they're on the top side on most of these. Like, look at XRP. There is zero reason that I would be scared of this chart. The only reason I'd be afraid of this chart is if I bought in at $2.80. You know, like, because then I'd be down and I'd be telling myself, hey, what the hell are you doing? You can't even buy it at the right spot. But yeah, I like to buy all this fear. You know, I like the fear. I'm not going nowhere right now. My heart hasn't even skipped a beat yet. In 21, it skipped 3. Live on air when I seen what was going on. We talked about this 2 days ago or 3 days ago in the live. We said, oh boy, this is going to get bad here, but you got a chance to sell here. And I said it over and over. If you bought it and you rode up through the run and you don't want to stomach the drop that was coming, you can sell it. You know, you can sell it. But the bottom line is buying it at the bottom of a bear. I'm up so much money right now that it's a blip in the radar right now. Now, if it goes down another 15% market wide, then I'm seriously going to have a discussion with myself. Because I'm going to have to know that next back test up, if that's a rejection back test, it's a problem. And Brad did say lock in, which means we'll probably be locked out. If you catch my drift. Every time those goons speak, you know, it ends up being something. And I like Brad Garlinghouse, but he's a goon. Just like the rest of them, because they lie to us all the time. So I call them goons. As a holder that plans to sell, I just don't look at my portfolio when everyone is screaming. Nope. Nope. I never look at my portfolio, ever. I don't like to look at it. I don't like to look at it. So, like, what's on my ledger, I don't look at in my cold wall. I don't look at any of it. Until I'm ready. Until I'm like, all right, I have to make an educated decision here where I want to sell. Because then I don't see the highest of highs and the lowest of lows when it's traveling. You know, I just want to see where my final destination is until I have to reignite. You know, and I hated doing it in 21, but if it tells me to do it in 24, I'm going to do the same shit I did in 21. I'm going to wholesale everything. And I'm going to wait because my gut was telling me, like, you know, once this breaks, you shouldn't wait for the pullback down and then the rise back up. You should just say, you know, maybe but I can't because of the inverse head. You know, so there's a lot of things inside of me that's conflicted, believe me. I'm up a shitload right now. And yeah, I've already taken like 25,000 in profits, as you guys know. I just did it strategically. And it affects none of my bags that I talk about because we traded and we did what we had to do. But that's during this run. Like, that doesn't get taken back. That's on my crypto debit card now, like my prepaid card. So that money's safely put away. But there's a lot more still that's still in play here. You know, there's a lot of money at play right now for all of us. For all of us. Down 125K, but up 479,000. See, that's real right there. That's real. Is the inverse head and shoulders also on XLM? Slightly different on XLM. XLM came down too far to be an inverse head and shoulders. See, that short uptrend isn't even valid for XLM. You got to just take it from the beginning now. You got to take this. See, that's what I mean. If we take these from the beginning of the uptrend, look how they're starting to consolidate in. This is the biggest problem. They're all starting to go back into like these. And these are, remember, is a falling channel bullish or bearish, folks, if it stays within it? I'm just asking my audience. Is a falling channel bullish or bearish? Mr. I says, I mean, you have to look at the strength of XRP. It's holding on pretty good compared to the other market with 10%. You're not wrong about that, Mr. I. And I know what some of these signals mean. Like when you have a falling channel, absolutely it's bullish. It's typically bullish. Now, no, it does depend. It depends, gap filler, because it's bearish if it breaks the channel. But typically a falling channel is telling you it's a bullish consolidation or bullish continuation, especially if you're coming off a flag. You know, you want to see the bear or the falling channel. But obviously, if you break this uptrend of the pattern, that's what I'm saying. We're getting very close for some of these. Like XLM, very nice looking right now in the falling channel sense. But if it gives way on this, it's going to be an issue. This could be a big issue if it were to break down. But right now, for me personally, until it breaks it and tells me it's not bullish anymore, that I can't go outside the realm. I'm a technical person, and yeah, it might be dragging along technically sound speaking. But remember at $2.23, some said they were going to sell. I just say, hey, how about we just watch, see what happens here real quick. It doesn't seem like much, but that's a $300 move just now. If you're looking to sell on 10,000 tokens. Almost $400 move. It is too. Like if somebody was just about to sell 10,000 tokens for $2.23 and they waited until just now, it netted them $400. Yeah, ABC correction is what was in the midst of it, but we're trying to see if it's going to hold, because if you end up going down from a correction, ABC correction, and then you have to go back into distribution, that's where you're going to have to find, if you got to distribute again, you're going to have to go to a supply zone. And if this isn't the right supply zone, $1.58 is the next supply demand zone, in my opinion, if this were to fail. So that's why I keep saying this is, I look at it logically. Like I need to know the supply and I need to know where people are going to be stacked, but that doesn't have to come into play if this just plays out how it's supposed to. But we don't know how it's supposed to because we're in a cycle that we've never seen before. So we're getting caught up here. So real quick, I did promise this. How much have I talked? 25 minutes already. That's incredible. It's incredible how much I talk. It's absolutely incredible. Let me refresh this in case there's been any since the last time I was looking at this. But right now, look at that liquidation. And now we flipped the clock. But before it flipped, we had massive amounts of liquidation. Look at all of that. 372 million on Binance. 158 million on OK. Like, we're getting a shit ton of liquidations. That's bad. That's huge. 173 million on Bybit, 76 million on HTX, 26 million on BitMEX, 13 million on CoinEx, to 23.8 million on BitUNIX. Look at XRP alone. And to think we're at $2.22 and all these people just got liquid. It's insane. It's insane. It's too much money. Can we acknowledge that's too much money being liquidated? I think it's too much money. It's too much money. It's too much money. Take a look at the liquidations on Bitcoin. Sometimes it gets to be too much when I see all the people that are liquidated for no reason. Just, it makes my skin crawl. We're just giving the money back to the exchanges. That's why I stopped copy trading with everybody. I said, fuck we're not giving it back to the exchange. Even if we make easy money, then it's just gonna put us into that gambling mindset, and then we're gonna just keep doing leverage anyhow instead of spot. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Excuse my friend. It doesn't make any sense anymore to me with what I'm seeing. It simply doesn't make any sense with what I'm seeing. Because the up and down motion right now, it's just been incredible. Incredible. And now look what's happening though, folks. You want to talk about liquidity piling up real quick? Now, once again, everybody's going to think they can't. Bitcoin's never going to go up. The only game in town is shorting, which is exactly what we seen last time it had a drop like this. We went to 90,000 the last time, and then we created a ton of liquidity above, and that liquidity speaks. There's nothing below us right now. It's basically trashed below us. You see the zero liquidations down here. Maybe a little bit piled in over the last couple days. But now all of a sudden you start going back up, and now you can see pockets forming. See this? You got billions of dollars forming. Look it up here. Oh, baby. Here we go. This is what I want to see. 108,400. We're up to 384 million in liquidations now. That's what I'm saying. It ain't over yet, I don't think. We haven't even gone up to the technical target on Bitcoin to 122. Like, look at all this liquidation. There's billions of dollars up. Like, there's a shitload up here again. And we're just getting started here. Wait till tomorrow. Man, the fact that between 108,700, look how much liquidity there is there. That's what we need. I'm seeing a setup here. I can see the potential already for a lot of people to get, oh boy. Yeah, the fear and greed index has come down quite a bit, but it's still at 62. That's still pretty high. It's not 95 or 87. Coming back more into a neutral range. But it's been a slugfest. It's been an absolute slaughter. What's up, everyone? Always a shakeout before the breakout. Breathe, relax. Exactly. That's why I'm going through all of the scenarios right now, so that everybody can see exactly what's happening. What about the trend line from the top of the resistance? I got to see what this... November 16th, bottom of December 10th support, and over to today's bottom support of the XRP. It appears we have a support. We sure do. I've shown the setups here. Overall, we're definitely on the top side of support. That's the bottom line we've been talking about. I mean, you can go all the way back to the 4th, and you can just draw a straight line across, and we're on it right now. If you go back to December 10th, you have an uptrend, yes. But I would caution that by saying I don't like the December 10th uptrend. I'm going to take the uptrend from all time here when we were actually going up. So the December 10th uptrend gets superseded. because the all-time uptrend takes over, in my opinion. So now we have to see if this pattern consolidation holds, because not only is that a beautiful consolidation, but it is an inverse head and shoulders. And this is just this is my personal belief of what I'm seeing in the market. I'm not going to get excited again until we get on top of that uptrend, but I'm also not going to get devastated unless we break certain factors. So now I'm going to wait for us to come back above there, because that's where we have to go. So unless we break down this barrier before we get over 265, you shouldn't be sweating it. And the least at all. And the least at all. What did he say? That the freeway from the east side, the west side of 6. So, hey, by the way, dude, the freeway from the east side to the west side on 696 was treacherous. Be careful driving Michigan. Oh, it's been brutal today in Michigan. Even getting the kids from school and dropping them off and do what it was brutal. 2025 isn't a guarantee. But yeah, I see a lot of people saying about the run that's going to happen and then you have to sell in February. Where does that narrative come from, out of curiosity? Did somebody on YouTube spat their mouth a little while ago and say, hey, you know, February is going to culminate on this run and then we all have to sell? I'm just curious because a lot of people have been saying that the last week or so. Yeah, it's snowing here where I'm at too. Not because of my Christmas ambiance back here, but it's actually snowing outside. We're going to get about 3 to 4 inches where I live tonight. It's starting right now. Hit that like button and subscribe to Tom's channel for the best TA on YouTube. Hey, I appreciate that, Jorge. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 3 months with the XRP Meteor and being a very trusted mod. Devin, thanks for being in here, my friend. And thanks for being in Tom's Army for over 1 year with the I Told You So badge. And being a very trusted mod as well. There was 5 spent. Oh, yeah, that icy sheet. And it seems to always develop there on 696. It's awful. Lots of people think the top of the market will come in September. Water saying crash around 314.25 because switch to lunar eclipse. That's probably where it's coming from then. That March has to be the end. I like Waters Above Crypto. I've just seen... I don't want to go into it because I like that channel. I've just seen so many, unfortunately, catastrophically wrong predictions based on the solar and lunar and all this other nonsense. It's a cool story nonetheless. It's a cool story. It's a cool story what he does. But yeah, it's definitely a cool story. Sorry, Julie texted me. Vince, I can't fucking talk. Hold on 1 sec. Hey, Vince. Yeah, no, it's fine. I was doing a live right now. No, it's cool. I seen bonus, so that was cool. Yeah, he told me. He called me. Said it got delivered. I don't either. But he called me and said thank you. I'm like, for what? No, don't tell how much it was. Yeah. No. But, hey, we'll talk after. He's getting ready to go to bed and Julie's gone, so it's just a cluster fucking right now. Alright, yeah, we'll talk later, Vince. Alright, bye. Alright, sorry about that. So they did. He called this time from 8 months ago. Tom and Waters, my TA gurus. So I'm saying I don't want to say anything bad about that station because I like it. It's just the whole gematria thing sometimes, you know, we can... Nope, not doing it. That is one that I would recommend because I like his logic. At the end of the day. But anyhow, 4-hour time frame, a little bit of a long leg doji reversal here. Which is nice, but there's still 3.5 hours left here. So now we're in that situation. If we pull up too far, we could create like a bearish Billionaires use astrologies. Millionaires use charts. Ah, Dylan, if that were only true, there'd be many more billionaires, my friend, don't you think? Honestly, bro, like, if you really think technicals are gonna get you left behind astrology, you're that's fine. Shaky Lake, thank you for the $2 note. Hey Tom, any update on ISTO? Uh let's see. I'm trying to think if that's I'm gonna have to look deeper on ISTO. I have to look. Oh, IOST you're talking about. IOST, is that what you were talking about? It's a JP Morgan quote. He wore an astrological pocket watch for a reason. I'm not saying that astrology doesn't come into it, but it was probably you or somebody else made a point blank statement that astrology is what billionaires use and technicals are what millionaires use. You realize you can't become a billionaire until you become a millionaire, and you can't become a millionaire before you become a six-figure, and you can't become a six-figure until you become a five-figure, and you can't become a five-figure until you become a 10,000 right? You can't have 10,000 until you have 1,000. You can't have 1,000 until you have 999. You can't have that until you have you can't have 100. So let's go. Doesn't work that way. I never seen a billionaire unless he was handed all of his money that became a billionaire without having to build up through the ranks, which means he would have had to learn the charts to actually put the astrology to use. It doesn't even make sense to say it the opposite way. Yeah, JP Morgan had a pocket watch, but he also understood market. He also understood the manipulation. The astrological thing is so the dummies like us, we put too much stock into it. It's not that easy. That's why 99% of the time the astrological shit doesn't work. Do you know how many times I've heard moon on fucking full moon dump on? It's all the same shit. To me, it's all going to play out the way the charts say. Whether you want to call it a full moon, half moon, lunar moon, I don't really care. I was just quoting JV Coach. I love it. That's another one that I wouldn't trust as far as I could listen. Sorry, no offense. I'm not talking bad about people, but I'm just saying I've seen everybody who's being commented right now, besides one, which is Water Above Crypto, which is one I like. The other ones that I've seen commented in here right now have cost people so much money since 21, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. It makes my head want to go through a wall. But enough of that. See, I'm just waiting. But what did I tell my audience member who asked me or said he was going to sell 50% at 223, 220? What did I say? So don't sell it just yet. Wait for the back test. I don't want you to cost yourself money. That's an $800 move now on 10,000 tokens since we've been on the air. So just be careful before you sell something is all I'm saying. I love it, Michael. Let's see. Hey, Tom, I know how you hate the day after your birthday and why. The same day this year, my wife went on life support. Now I hate the date, too. I watch you every day, and she did, too. Oh, my God. Wait a minute. She was on what? She did, too. Are you speaking in past tense? Is your wife still with us, CJ2 Pilot? That's a shame. Crypto Bob, you gotta. Yes, Yellow Eyes Dead. Big link to John this. Yes, but on life support. Well, I think everybody in here needs to use the power of Christ right now. We just need to pray amongst ourselves that your wife, you know, this plays out the way it's supposed to, you know, and the positivity and the vibes. And like we always say, when one or more people preach the word of God, he becomes present in our space. So, in the name of the Father, we bless for healings. Amen. So if you believe, say a prayer for CJ2 Pilot's wife. Like, real talk. Let the Lord guide her through. Whatever that decision is from our Lord, let's make it painless and make it peaceful. I think that's, and help guide CJ2 Pilot as well, because it's one thing for his wife, but it's a whole nother ballgame for the one who's got to sit through it, because it's, I'm glad you're in here, CJ2 Pilot. I'm glad you actually shared, like, seriously. Amen. Amen to that, Shaky Lake says, when two or more are gathered in my name. That's tough. I don't know what it is about December 18th, but it seems, there's somebody else who mentioned that he made a comment in my chat yesterday, and maybe it'll help alleviate some people's sorrows and understand that they're not alone. I think it was in 1991, one of my longtime viewers made a comment yesterday that in 1991 he watched his mom die on December 18th. And there was nothing he could do. So, like, you know, mine was just breaking my back. I'm still here walking this earth gracefully. You know, I don't like the day for other reasons, but I didn't lose anybody on that day. I didn't die. I should have, but I didn't. You know, and I believe the purpose for us to be here for a reason. And I mean, I know what my purpose is. The Lord and Savior gave me the mind, the wisdom, and the compassion to, I've always graced this earth humbly and with humility. So I know I'm here for what I'm doing right now so that we can push our agenda with finances, but I think it goes a little bit deeper than that. We can see things at a deeper level if we all just stick together, and it gets harder and harder day by day. I know I'm over 30,000 subscribers now, so for some people they would leave because I don't just have 1,000. I'm not the small channel anymore, but I'm still small in comparison to many others. But I think we can set a big example. The bigger this community gets, the more of an example we can set. It's not from hate. And some people get mad when I go into the spew, but it's just going to be even more of a spew in 25. I can guarantee it. But we don't need to be hateful to each other. Look how many people have been hateful to me today and hurtful in the comments just because XRP dropped. You know, you don't want to be hurtful. You want to be helpful. You want to be kind, not rude. Right? Like, you don't never want to take somebody's innocence and make them feel unwelcome. And that's something I always preach. So loving over hating. Kindness over rudeness. Positive over negative. We are not victims here. We're winners. Some people think I push that message too strong. Sometimes I talk about it. Sometimes I don't. But in this time, you've really got to have your faculties, man. And it's just going to keep getting worse. And I can't talk about the blah, blah, blah and all that stuff because now those words are being banned again on YouTube. So if some of your favorite YouTubers who would talk about the blah, blah, blah openly and say the name, can't do it no more. We know in California that they're declaring like shutdowns already. New Jersey said you have to mask up in hospitals and medical facilities again. I know California, it's a state of emergency. So, I mean, it's going to come and it's going to come quick. 25 is not the year of help. It's the year of hurt. But we can stay ahead. And what we did in 24 should certainly help us in 25. But 25 is going to be a new test. It's coming from there. But actually, it's coming from there. So if you understand that, you can understand what's going on. If you don't, it's going to be a very long year in 25. It's a year that I haven't been looking forward to for about 25. Since I was like 15. But hey, you know, we're almost there now. So crypto facing 1.2 billion liquidation bloodbath as XRP, Doge, and ADA record stunning losses. According to data by CoinGlass, more than 1.2 billion worth of crypto has been liquidated over the past 24 hours. To drive home the point I talked about in the beginning, long positions unsurprisingly account for the vast majority of the wipeout of 1.07 billion. The largest single liquidation order took place on Binance, with one trader losing nearly 16 million. Holy fuck. One single trader lost over almost $16 million on Binance in a leverage trade. That is disturbing. Binance comes in first place by total amount of liquidated crypto, with over $500 million today was liquidated on Binance. Unbelievable. Now, let me put it in perspective, folks. We had a 10% drop market wide approximately if you average it out. About 10%. 10% of 546 million is 54 million. Oh, sorry, we lost 54 million, right? But we still have 494 million. But no, we got to get greedy in liquidation. And now the whole 546 million, like that, like that, like that, goes right back to the house. And now retail just bends over even farther. We can only bend over so far before our legs snap off. You know, we can only go so far. So why freely give back? That's why I never talk about it anymore. Because this bothers me. This is like when I go to the casino and I see somebody go to the poker table, and instead of playing a real game of poker against their fellow humans, they go sit down at the machine where it's rigged out the ass. If you know how to play poker, don't sit on the machine. Go take after the human element. You want to take down the human element. I was so good at Texas Hold'em when I was a kid because I'd play against others' emotion, and I knew how to get them emotionally rubbed up just in a simple card game. So, like, use the human error, not the house's error, because the house's error is ours. We lose. Sure, we get those little bits and pieces, and sometimes they throw us the crumbs. Some people do great in leverage. But over time, the majority go... Then you start chasing. Hey, I got 1,000 XRP. I'm going to take out on loan out of my 20,000, and I lose them. Uh-oh, now I got 19. Well, now I got to take out 2,000 to try to make the 1,000 back and then replace this one. Oh, shit, now I lost 3. Now I'm going to take out 10 because now it's easier. I only have to make a smaller percentage to get it back, and then everything's going to work out. The charts look fine. It didn't, and then it implodes, and now you got 7,000 left, and you're sitting here going, I had 10,000 tokens worth 23,000, or 20,000 tokens worth 46,000, and now I'm sitting here at 7,000 tokens. How the hell am I going to buy the other 30,000 tokens? That's the point. Don't put yourself in that spot. It's no different if you're like, oh, I need to go to the casino, or I need to get on the sports betting app, since it's on every damn commercial we see now. Like, where's the humanity in that? Every place I go, I can't even go outside to get my mail without 17 different gambler things to go in on sports betting. It's disturbing. But now you look at it that way. You got $1,000 to pay your house, or you pay your rent, $1,000. Let me just take out $200. I can't quite afford the light bill. But if I take out the $200 out of my 1,000 and I make a couple $100, then I can pay the light bill. When I lost 200 because, you know, my for sure bet didn't go through, right? Well, now I'm screwed. Now I'm scrambling to make up the 200 because I got to at least pay the rent. Otherwise, they're going to lock my doors. Well, now I take out another few hundred. What's the worst that can happen? Well, now I got $0. I can't pay the rent or the light bill. Now I'm screwed. Now any money I make on top of that, now if I work overtime, that's the point. You start gambling and it only ends one way. Leverage trading is only gambling. Doesn't matter how good you are at the charts. Doesn't matter how great you see things. Doesn't matter how fundamentally sound you are. It always bites you in the ass at some point, because I don't know a single person who starts with 100, turns it into 2, turns it into 5, turns it into 1,000, that still only bets 100 if they're not financially set. Because now they're going to say, well, if I bet that whole 1,000 and it goes up 10%, it's 100 instead of 10. Or if it goes up 50%, I make 500 instead of 50. But the real logic should be I should only play 100 out of that 1,000, because if it gets liquidated, I have 90% of my money left still, if I'm going to play that game. But it doesn't work that way. See, the human mind, the human anatomy doesn't allow it. We're too greedy. As reported by You Today, the cryptocurrency market turned bearish after the U.S. Federal Reserve indicated that it would reduce rate or easing in 2025 after implementing a hawkish rate cut. Now, only 2 rate cuts are expected next year, and a huge blow to risk assets. The U.S. equities also appeared under severe strain, with the Dow recently logging its longest losing streak in 50 years. It's like 14 days in a row or some shit. Higher rates are bad for risk assets, and the Fed's announcement caused a sharp pullback in all risk assets, Bitwise CIO Matt Hogan noted in a recent post. Hogan, not to be confused with Hulk Hogan, has also pointed to the high amount of leverage that exacerbated the recent correction. This being crypto, however, the initial pullback wasn't the end of the story. Leverage is a fact of life in crypto, and when there are sharp pullback in the market, levered positions get stopped out, he noted. No, not stopped out, liquidated. Stopped out means that somebody put a stop loss and they still have some of those funds back. No. The story of crypto is liquidations. Any idiot could get stopped out. I could buy something and put a 10%. I'm talking about the ones who let the entire thing go goodbye-bye. That's the liquidations. We're not talking about stop losses. If you add in the stop loss losses and the liquidations, it's going to look 10 times worse. So, we can agree to disagree on certain points. But I can't even see the comments, which is usual. It's been 50 minutes already. Oh my God. I talked for 50 minutes already. That doesn't even seem right. Got a lot to say. Hopefully this is hitting home for some of you because it's imperative. I don't think anybody else is going to tell you this if you're watching them on crypto, but hey. Yep. Say no to gambling. Say no to gambling. They sure do need to ban sports betting ads like they did with cigarettes. I would rather see a nice stogie on there. Have somebody smoking their nicotine. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I'd rather see the cigarette commercials than the sports betting. The sports betting ones are destroying people. If you think it's not, and then oh man, it's just too much. MC Prosperity says, I'm a roulette/blackjack player. You keep the odds in your favor if you understand the games. No, I'm not saying to go on a roulette wheel or go play some blackjack, but there are certain strategies involved with both of those that actually can put it in the favor of the... Well, you can never put it in the favor of the better, but you can at least give yourself better odds. Thomas Stingy, so he is making it all up about the casino, and we all know it. Oh, yeah. That's not me going to the casino, Alice. I'm saying that's what happens to some. No. I've gone to the casino one time this entire year, and it was for Julie's birthday. And I was begrudgingly brought there. Oh, my eyes would really turn yellow too, Michael, if I lost 16 million. My dear Lord. And Soul of Jeffy said it the best way I could possibly say it. We're all gambling, but like he's gambling, I'm gambling, you're gambling on the ISO. I'll take it a step farther, the IoT as well. But the ISO, the utility tokens are what we're gambling on. XDC we talked about this morning and yesterday. If you're looking to find your first buy, put the chart out right here for everybody. 689 was the first area I thought would be a good spot if you're looking on HotCoin because they listed it yesterday to start adding. I didn't buy shit barely. Like 10% of my holdings at 689. Well, I had to buy it because I said that would be a good spot to start. It may not be because it might just come all the way down here for a 30%. Or what is this? Nice 35% drop. Right? 40, 35. I don't even know anymore. Pretty close. 37, 38. So, and like, this isn't looking, like the way the markets are looking right now, we've got a chance at a big pullback, but we've got an equal chance at a big drop if this doesn't play out properly. Like, we want to see Ethereum start pushing that 3,600. We held 3311, which is perfect. I honestly can't believe it held that number exactly, but it did. That was our expectation if we had to come down and maintain bullishness. And then we said, hey, you know, at least we would know we would have to come back. And this is what it's funny, because now we'll see. When I was spewing off all this, I said if it comes down to 3,311, we're fine. Because even if bearish, it'll have to come back up to 3,630 and test the 4-hour and the 200-day as resistance. So now let's see if that happens. We're massively oversold in the 4-hourly. My RSI, the Relative Strength Index, is inverted. So even though it's all the way to the top on the RSI below, that's actually oversold and not overbought because I have it inverted, so I can tell in my audience who's been here and who hasn't. Just something I do. Let's see, Todd. I once went to MGM with $100 to play blackjack, 25 minimum. For rent and electric, needed 1,200, 118, couldn't stop, lost it all, went home with. Oh my God, Todd! In my past life, I can't even tell you how many times that happened. Maybe not at the casino, but maybe in the stock market, maybe on sports, but it just doesn't even matter. But I understand that 100%. Like, I can 100% understand what you're talking about. Like, you even got up to what you needed, and because you were up, you just kept going, because it's like, hey, I turned 25 or 50 into 1,800, why can't it continue? And then before you know it, you start chasing the losses. It's like, hey, I'm at 18 and back to 12. Why don't I just cash out now with what I needed? Nope. Got to somehow make up that 600 I didn't even have when I walked in, but now I have to make up before I leave. Tom's Yacht Party, 2028 to 2032 is the time frame. I don't know exactly the day, but it's going to happen sometime in between there. Hopefully it'll happen by 28, because then I, would still be a little younger. If it happens in 2052 or 2032, I'll be like 49 instead of 45 if it happens earlier, but that's okay. Still young. I'm still young enough. I've still got a lot of time in front of me. A lot of time. A lot of painful times, but lots of times. I mean, look at that. That's a brutal, brutal rejection right there. So we'll see if this plays out like it's supposed to, guys. I'm here by myself, so I got to go deal with my son. I appreciate us being able to spend some time together. Hopefully this helped in some small way. And hopefully, just understand and pay attention to what I've said during this live. If you do appreciate what you've seen here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the channel and join the over 30,000 subscribers. I think it's over 30,200 now. That's crazy. BITUNIX, lowest spot and leverage trading fees, lowest maker-taker fee if you're leverage or spot trading. So many different cryptocurrencies. XRP's on there, but HOTCOIN, if you're looking for XDC, it's the same thing. No KYC or VPN if you don't want to. And it's like a trading exchange, so you can buy XDC on there now, and you can offload it to your wallet. They have the offloading available for XDC right now on HOTCOIN, so you can buy it and even withdraw it from there onto your main wallet if you want to, an XDC wallet, yada, yada, yada. They also have VELO. They have, let's see, VELO, IOTA, and now XDC. So they got some of the ones that are harder to find in the USA. So yeah, and then if you want to send a donation, but I don't advise you to, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, especially on days like today, just keep your money. If you want to show support when we're flying or whatever, that's one thing, but I don't want your money. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo today, I don't want it. You can do that outside of YouTube, or you can join Tom's Army. We had one person today, which I'm blessed, but keep your money until maybe it's a buying opportunity. Maybe you're going to send a super chat or something, and maybe that $20, $10, it could be put into a swing trade or something because we're dropping so much. So there'll be days where you can donate, but some days, it's just the market's dead. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but obviously, you're going to do what you want to do. So with that being said, let me go on my phone one more time and pull up YouTube just in case anything popped up. Obviously I can't see it, so it's only going to take me a split second to pull YouTube up. So, it's only going to take me a split second. Here we go. Tom, research IOST in your free time, please. Shaky leg, IOST, okay. I got confused when you put it because I have, wait a minute, I have IOST. What do you mean? I already did shaky leg. I know what IOST is. It's in the IoT. I done my research. This is one that I thought was a good deal. Or it was a good buy if it came into a zone where it made sense for you. This is one that I don't hate. I remember I drew this out. I don't know where my drawing is, but this is not one I hate. This is part of the IoT. It has functionality within the IoT, so don't hate it. You're probably the one who forced me to look into this. I did. Over the weekend, the whole weekend, it was something I was, not the weekend, on start of this week. When we did a live, you brought it up. That's why it's on my chart right now. We're just trying to fill this out right now. This is trying to fill out. Yeah, I mean, it's really just trying to fill out. Look where the breakout was. And look where the back test is, my friend. See what's happening here? So, if this is breaking out and it's back testing the breakout, it's going to hit right around, at worst, it should hit 0058. Right now at 0063. Interesting. I'm going to buy some of this, probably. Some more. Right now. Not right now, but if it hits, I already bought some in here when it dropped. But I'll buy more if it comes and holds 0057. So, but I think that's actually spot on. I think that one's spot on. Yes, it was on my birthday. That's what it was. And I'm like, how could I have not seen this ISO or IoT token? Like, I was actually, this is weird. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I leave, I want to do this. I know sometimes it gets hard, it gets emotional, and it gets just a little uneasy, especially with some of the up and down, left and right, negligent comments, the ones who are harassing you or me or anybody, or the ones who are just negative or abrupt. You got to be the light, ladies and gentlemen. Shine through, shine bright, and the love always defeats the hate. It always has and it always will be. That's just the general rule. Love is stronger than anything else on this planet. It's the strongest and purest form of magic you can find is love. Love. I love you, you love me, we're all happy. If you hate me, I don't hate you, but it still brings some kind of anonymity. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Ladies and gentlemen, first introduced in 2021, the sun. Sunny days are here again. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. Oh, sunny days. Oh, what a day. I wear glasses 'cause I can't see a motherfucking thing. Happy days. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. Oh, happy days. Oh, what a day. XRP will reign supreme. Let's just not get caught in the FUD. Oh, we're gonna crash and we did and we will and we have and we won't and we will and we did and we will. Oh, yeah. Stay true. Stay blessed. Follow through. Don't be left behind. Ooh, he's looking pretty good today. I like the sun today. I'm not sure what happened. His hands kind of came out today weirdly. He doesn't usually have hands like that. This is kind of new. I'm not sure what's going on today. But thank you, everybody. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a blessed evening. I go check on my son and got to get things done with. But I really appreciate the fact you're